Representing the 31 to 53 foot class in the center console category, the Contender 35ST has an overall length of 34 feet 10 inches, a beam of 10 feet, and a max horsepower rating of 1,050. Built for fishing offshore in even the roughest of conditions, she has a draft of 21 inches, a dead rise of 24.5 degrees, a dry weight of 6,600 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 400 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, Dave East and Rick Riles.
You know, we cover a lot of boats in Best Boat that are for fishing and family, but we haven't forgot about you tournament guys. This is the Contender 35ST, and it is all about showing up at the winner's circle.
Oh, is it? Now, let me tell you something. Center console boats, and actually Contenders in particular, have taken the South Florida sailfish scene by storm. There's no big money tournaments down there anymore that you don't see them in the weigh-in line. There's a lot of reasons for it. Not only the Contender hull and the great running surface, the two steps, everything about this boat screams tournament fishing.
Well, let's not get away from that stepped hull too quick, because what the stepped hull does, this boat compared to a typical V-hull boat, talking about 20% more efficiency. Every time that hull steps up, it induces air. You get air, the bubbles get sucked into the bottom of the hull, and you break that wetted surface. Less friction, more efficiency. It's a really simple design. It's been around for a long time. You can get a lot more range out of the boat with the same horsepower.
They're built to get there first when the money's on the line. That's why the steps are so important for a tournament-style boat.
Okay, let's look at the inside of the way this boat's laid out now. For the tournament fisherman, you start with a cockpit and a nice flat deck. Tell me the importance of that.
Your best competitive teams know that you can't get your bites one at a time. Their job is to turn one bite into 4 or 5. You understand what I'm saying? That means a fish on in the back of the boat, you've got to find the rest of the fish, and you've got to be able to get up here and get up here in a hurry. That's why that flat deck's so important. There's nothing to climb up on, there's no step, there's nothing, there's just go.
You've got plenty of storage below that deck too. You've got built-in fish boxes down in the floor, they're insulated, but you've got a lot of room to take all of your gear.
Speaking of storage, let me show you my favorite idea ever for a center console. I am a huge fan of a center console box like this. My daughter grew up sleeping on a coffin box every day just like this while we were fishing.
Well, it's storage, it's insulated cooler for a big fish or for taking all your drinks, but there's another one below it. Now you're not going to lift this thing up when it's full. There's an actuator. You hit a switch on the console, this whole thing tilts up on an actuator. Now you can get to the stuff that's stored below it without having to unload this. The face of the console, it's got room for electronics. They're all flush mounted, but lift up on that latch. The fact that they're hidden behind this door, you know, you're going to get a lot of glare when you're on the water. I know you've got the T-top on here, but that little bit to push those electronics back that far makes a huge difference in the fact that you can read all of your displays.
It makes everything different. You can read them from different angles because they're recessed. You know what else? They don't get salt on the face. And when they don't get salt on the face, they don't get scratched. Those screens will stay better longer, just recess that little bit.
Well, you do have a side entry door that leads you down into the console. There's enough room for a head down there, and the interior of this console is absolutely gorgeous. They finished it out with teak. Just one more thing that Contender can do, make the boat a little bit more personal, but not lose that tournament edge.
Don't forget this seat. 3 abreast across here very, very comfortably.
Well, it needs to be. Let's face it, a 35-foot boat like this, you're not fishing the river. A boat like this is going to make some long runs. You've got to be comfortable when you make a run like that, and you've got to be secure. This boat can take rough conditions. Having these sides like that, you're in the seat, you're not on it.
All right, you want to talk about something that screams competitive fishing at you? Look at this. This is a custom Contender invention. It's a portable rigging table, okay? Just sets in 2 rod holders. Rig your dredges, rig your ballyhoo, whatever you need to get done, you can do it right here.
You've got insulated fish boxes that are built into the boat, but you've also got a high-tech cooler that's on a slide.
But let me give you the last piece of the puzzle. This is one of the reasons we call this a tournament fishing machine, okay? Doesn't have a live well, has a live well system.
Each live well has its own 1,500 gallon per hour pump, and they're in a box. It's like a sea chest, we used to call it, you know, in the old days. But it brings the water in there. The pumps take the water from the chest and pump it out. It's a lot safer, and you only have one pickup in the bottom of the boat rather than having 3 separate sea strainers.
But yeah, the job is to keep your bait swimming so it doesn't get trapped in a corner and die. Think about 1,500 gallons an hour going through these.
That's a lot.
You talk about your bait working hard, it's ready to go when you reach in and take it out of that tank.
35-foot boat, Absolutely built for the tournament angler. It's got everything you need, clean, uncluttered deck. This is a boat that will take you into the winner's circle every time.